Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we cover all things Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we do a new character every week. This week, we're going to be talking about Nebula, and I'm your host, Fred.
I'm Brad.
And I'm Steven.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are the two of you doing? How are you doing today, Brad?
Better than yesterday.
Yeah, I bet. How about you, Steven? How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
You had a busy day yesterday, also.
Well, it wasn't busy. It was just long and boring and
Yeah.
monotonous. So,
Uh, for those of you who are tuning in, this is coming in. This episode is coming out a day later than normal because we needed some time to recover after a big tournament. And Stephen, of course, chose to drive like an enormous amount of time the day right afterwards, like a complete madman. You mad lad, Stephen.
oh,
Uh,
well,
no, I'm just kidding. It was something you needed to do. I understand. Uh, we played in the Akron Brawl this past weekend, and it was a ton of fun. And it went 5 rounds, and we were all exhausted by the end of it. So we will be discussing that quite a bit this episode. That'll make up the largest portion, I would say. And then we'll talk about Nebula a little bit afterwards. So before we do that, is there any news that's out of AMG that we need to discuss?
There
I
was
don't believe
there
that there
was
is.
news today, Fred.
What was the news? I'm unaware.
They announced 3 products. So the first one was the New York City Block Terrain Collection.
Oh, okay. Is this different than the base city terrain pack that comes
Yeah, it
in the
sure
core box?
is. In that
I would imagine.
it's you remember the New York City Terrain Pack that came separate from the core box. It had 2 buildings instead of one, 2 cars, 2 dumpsters, 2 lights, 2 traffic lights. I think that was the whole box.
Okay.
Do you remember that box, Fred?
I can safely say that I've never thought about purchasing it.
Okay.
is it the one, Brad, that had the Daily Grind coffee shop?
Yes, as the Daily Grind and the Daily Bugle.
hmm
Yeah. So it comes with that and a truck and 2 apartment buildings,
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh.
which
Okay.
is enough terrain for a table, but doesn't seem like a particularly good table.
Yeah, it's 2 5-point terrain pieces. That's
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, and a 4 and 2 3s and 4 2s and 4 1s.
Okay.
I actually like that because I've been looking for more apartment buildings because I did mine in the 3-story one.
Mm-hmm.
And with that pack, I could get 2 buildings and make one 2-story and one 4-story building.
You can. I also may pick up this because I wanted a second apartment building and just never bought it before they sold them all and they went out of print. Um, so I may
Now,
also pick this up.
Brad, is that the Oscorp truck, by the way?
It is. It should be the Oscorp or a dump truck. Not a dump truck, a garbage truck.
Okay.
Because they're just repackaging that old kit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's probably
That's a
even.
lot of terrain. That's a lot of terrain, though.
Uh, it's what? 3, 7, 10, 12 pieces.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
That's like the minimum for a
Well,
table, but okay. Uh, I wish it had 4 cars instead of 2. That's like my biggest gripe. All right, next on the products announced today is they showed off The Spider Foes starter set.
Okay. This is the one that comes with just a bunch of spider foes
It comes with
as
10 characters, um, dice, crisis cards, a score tracker, measuring sticks, and a bunch of tactics cards. Most of them are just Spider Foes related ones, but there's some generic ones in there. I don't remember what Strategic Retreat is.
That's a Spider-Foe card,
Okay,
actually.
yeah.
That's
that's
the
why I
one that
didn't know what it
combines.
was. Um,
That's the one that combines a fallback with mission objective.
oh, okay. It also comes with a couple generic cards. Joint Effort.
Or Sandman.
Heavy Firepower. Patch
Okay.
Up. Recalibration Matrix. And, of course, Brace for Impact.
Of course. Okay.
Judging by Joint Effort, I think those generic cards are going to be Spider-Foes themed. Joint Effort is a Spider-Man cover with Venom and Carnage jumping at Spider-Man.
Okay.
You can't see the art on like the other generics, but I bet they are also Spider-Foes themed. It also looks like they might have alt art on some or all of these cards.
Uh, if I didn't already own all of these models,
Yeah.
I would be, but I do.
Well, I'm going to get all these models again.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay. You'll have to let me know how the alt art is for all of these.
Yeah, well, I have a theme that I want to do. Hopefully not this coming year, but next year I can go to Adepticon. So, but I would like the cards, but I think I'm going to expand on my modeling capabilities.
You're
I
gonna
guess
kit
that's
back
cool.
these people up into. Do you want? Are you willing to share the theme, or do you not want to?
I'll share the theme and we'll see how I get going on it. But I really like the Age of Sail pirate ships, so on and so forth. Um, and I was thinking about doing, and they sell plastic model ship kits from like, the 1700 type wooden mast ships. And
Okay.
I'm thinking of converting the Spider Foes into a pirate crew.
Oh my God, Brad, what do you think about this?
I absolutely love this, Steven. I am also a big fan of uh, big sailboats and pirates and all that jazz.
And the Jolly Roger will be a pumpkin bomb with Doc Ock tentacles coming out
Oh
for the
gosh,
crossbones.
that's
Oh
really
my God,
good.
that's amazing.
That's really
That's
good.
amazing. Oh,
So
I can't wait to see this.
so yeah, that's a year and a half project, I guess, for me.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. All right.
Okay. The
Well, now we have something to look forward to, everybody.
yeah, the other product that was announced today, as coming out soon. These coming out October 31st, I believe. All of these is the X-Men starter set. So this is 10 models again. Um, it's the first wave of Brotherhood and X-Men models, plus Rogue and Gambit that play for both X-Men and Brotherhood. So it comes with the score tracker, crisis cards, dice, measuring sticks, all that, and a bunch of cards, tactics cards. This is why I'm pretty sure that they're all art cards in the other starter set, because the 4 cards you can see in this one, they're all X-Men or Brotherhood related. I know for a fact they're all art because I know what those cards look like because this is a faction I actually play. It also has, I think, the exact same generic cards: recalibration matrix, joint effort, patch up, heavy firepower, and
Brace?
what? Oh, brace. I found it. I was like, is this going to be a pack without brace? Because that'd be crazy. I found it.
Okay.
Brace is there.
Well, Brad, I'm gonna throw you the question. Are you gonna pick this up?
Absolutely. I'm going to pick it up.
Absolutely.
If nothing else for those alt cards, I'm going to pay probably more than $100 now. Just for those, apparently.
Isn't
Nice.
the price point supposed to be at like $90 or something like that?
It was supposed to be $99, but that was before the tariffs. Oh, it is listed as $95. So
Hey, there you go. All right.
I am shocked.
That's a steal.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get into this game and you're interested in either one of those affiliations, this is when you get into the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. These are great boxes to buy. The problem is,
yeah.
I'm looking at who's in here again, and I already have at least 2 of all of these models.
I was gonna say, don't you already have most of these multiple times?
I do, because I'm painting other costumes, but still, I might be letting go of the models at a very cheap rate, or I don't know, doing something crazy with them. Not pirates.
Not pirates. Well, I do have to pick up this box because I am missing 5 models out of that whole set. So.
All right. Well, we are very interested in this upcoming. We knew both of these boxes were coming. This was
but
known
we didn't
information.
know when.
Right.
And the train one was completely new.
That's true.
Well, I mean,
except it is old terrain.
But you can't buy it anymore. So
true. Okay.
You can again.
Right. Okay. It's back on the market.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Those are the news out of AMG. We finally have something that's related to Marvel Crisis Protocol. Let's talk about upcoming events. So for August, I don't think there's anything coming up. But in September, hey Brad, is September 20th the tournament for Lost Legion?
Yep.
September 20th, there is a tournament at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. That is our local game store. It is a very small event. This one's not super important. It's not connected to the Appalachian Cup, so attendance is not mandatory, but it would always be enjoyed. We always like seeing new people, so if you are in the area...
I just want to say, there are only 4 people at the last tournament, and one of those people was on the final table and got second place at NashCon. So...
Wait, wow, he got second?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he got second.
Yes, he
Holy
got
moly.
second.
Well done, Savage. Holy crap.
So, we're very good practice.
Yeah. Okay, then. Well, that's true. That's some information.
And Fred.
That I was not aware of. Yeah?
How did your game go against Savage?
I won in a fluke of nature. So, that's
so
impressive.
Fred basically got first at NashCon.
That is demonstrably untrue. That is demonstrably untrue.
Basically.
Well, so what Brad is saying is that you should come out to our local game store and test out your lists that you think are highly competitive. So come to our store on September 20th and beat the tar out of us, please. All right. And then on September 27th, this is the relevant tournament. That is Fabricators Forge in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and that will be the LVO qualifier and an Appalachian Cup event. So I will be going. I assume that Brad will be going.
I'm the one that told you to sign up.
Yeah, I have signed up, and this is an event run by Bryce. Bryce is uh, a great tournament organizer, and he runs a tight ship every time. So please show up. It is always good to have more people at these, and this is also an LVO qualifier. So the winner will get an invitation to LVO. That is something to keep in mind. Okay, that's it for upcoming tournaments that I'm aware of. Let's just get started talking about our games that we played in this tournament. In the Akron Brawl, I should say. So I'll begin. My first round, I was playing. So I brought Wakanda to this. I actually brought a Wakanda Asgard Flex roster, and part of the Asgard of that is to help with some bad matchups for Wakanda. My first game was against a gentleman named Joe, who was playing Kingpin Criminal Syndicate, which I was contemplating whether or not that would be a bad matchup, and it turns out to not really be a bad matchup for Wakanda. Wakanda can really shell out the damage, and in this game, that's what I did. We were playing on hammers and Infinity Formula, and I quickly pulled ahead on hammers. I think I collected 3 of them in the first round, and that gave me a huge advantage in hitting power, which meant that I could really beat Kingpin's criminal syndicate. I end up pretty much crushing the criminal syndicate here, and that's largely because my dice were really hot. This was this is going to be a theme for me this tournament, is that my dice are swingy, and I swing really hot in this game. I end up pulling this game out 16-10, and I like beating Kingpin. It's something that doesn't happen much, and it feels good to finally be able to do it. That was my first round. Hey, Brad, why don't you talk about your first round?
Sure thing, Fred. I am playing against a guy named Isaac, who's playing Asgard, which always feels like one of the toughest things I have to face with my apocalypse list.
See my bad matchup.
And yeah. Now Isaac's not playing Thor 1. Like, that's not in his roster at all. He's definitely not playing he's not playing his leadership, so that's better. He ends up playing Loki 2's leadership, and he plays Thor 2 and Mighty Thor and Heimdall. That's his list. We're playing at 18. That doesn't feel like enough points, but I'm pretty sure that was his whole list. And I played 3 threes and a 4. I know I played Psylocke. No. I played 3 4s. Because I played Psylocke and Wolverine, so I must have played... I played Colossus. And then, of course, Thor. A lot of this game came down to a fight between Thor 2 and Apocalypse, and Apocalypse won that fight consistently. So, Wolverine also ate Loki's lunch this entire game. And Isaac, at the end of the game, like played really well to keep me from winning by a lot more points than I would have, because I was pretty far ahead, and he closed that gap that last turn. So the game ended 16-14 instead of something like 20-12 at least. He turned several points around at the end.
Okay.
It was a fun game. He played really well. He said he'd only been playing for like a month, so he played really well for as little experience as he had. So that was it.
Okay. I should say that I didn't give enough credit to my opponent in round one. He played a very good game. It was just I was rolling so hot that there was not much he could do. I was just blowing his models off the table. All right. Steven,
Yes.
what was your first round like?
My first round was going against our friend Brandon Akers, and he pulled out his Steve 3 list again. He pulled out Gambit with Doc Ock 2 for the wild conversions, which really hurts. Shang-Chi, Iron Man 2, and of course Steve 3. I took against him Goblin, Doctor Strange, Doctor Voodoo, Mysterio, and Lizard. And we were on Legacy Virus and Intrusions. And he had priority. We were playing at 19, of course, if you did the math. And I just, my game plan just kind of fell apart. And I think I need to change my list a little bit to deal with the Doc Ock and Gambit. So that will be coming in the future. Needless to say, Brandon executed his plan perfectly. He wanted to do attrition, which he does better than I do. And considering there were only 6 points on the board, he made me pay for that just a little bit. I probably should have switched out somebody for Doc Ock so I could have done a well-laid plans. But hindsight is 2020. So he ends up winning this 17-8. So kudos to him. He beat me fair and square, so I can't take anything away from the game that I could have done differently, except maybe switched out a few models to give a better counter to what he had brought. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you lost, but Brandon is also a friend. I'm glad that he pulled it out, except oh well. I'm sorry to hear that you lost your first round.
It's fine. It's fine. It's perfectly all right, as you'll find out later.
Right, as I find out later. So let's move on to round two. My round two opponent was Bryce. Bryce is a fantastic player. Bryce was also playing Spider Foes against my Wakanda, and we pulled Hammers and Riot Spark. And so we were playing at 18 threat again. Let me talk about my 18 threat roster. So I've been playing King T'Challa recently, and so at 18 threat, I bring King T'Challa, M'Baku, Okoye, Shuri, and one Killmonger. Obviously Killmonger. I go into this match fully planning to beat up some Spider Foes. His list was Doc Ock, Rhino, Lizard, and 7 more threat of models. I don't fully remember what those 7 threat are, but we'll see. So this game starts off with a disaster for me. On my left, I am just M'Baku wide. I just have M'Baku on my left, Riot Spark. And Bryce moves Rhino up and is able to attack him round 1. I'm holding a hammer with M'Baku, and I'm like, okay, I'll just have to soak 1 attack from Rhino. Well, Rhino does 4 damage to M'Baku. And then to add insult to injury, this is a robberies on round 1 and throws M'Baku completely south and makes me drop the hammer. M'Baku is now out of position and does not have a hammer, and that'll mean that Bryce scores that side entirely this round, and I have nothing I can do about it. I'm just not committed on my left in a way that makes any difference at all. On the second round, I kind of redirect Killmonger over there to help me to hold the left flank. And I do, it's not this round, but I do succeed in usurping the throne. But when M'Baku's activation comes up, I think to myself, I need to get on the point. And the best way for me to do that is to Knob Curry attack into Rhino and then get my pursuit trigger and move onto the point that way. Well, guess what? I fail to roll. I mean, it was probably stupid of me to think that I would roll into a trigger that I need. But I really needed the trigger, and I needed the power also, and I failed to get it. So I have another round where M'Baku is just out of position. And that is devastating. That is really bad. On my right side, I'm fighting, and King T'Challa is doing fine, but not doing amazing. And in round 3, I successfully usurp the throne on Rhino, and King T'Challa goes to his back side to try and take out Doc Ock, and I attack him twice. I bound and attack him, and then I spender into him, and then I Wakanda Forever, and I fail to take out Doc Ock. And like at this point, that's gonna be game. There's no way I can come back from that because he ends up scoring enough points to win the game this round. He wins this game 19-4. I scored a grand total of 4 points this game. I don't think I've been shut out this bad in a while. This game was a disaster for me. So, oh well. You win some, you lose some. And the disaster was not anything that I did. This was just I could not catch a break, and Bryce was catching break after break after break. This was just unfortunate dice. Not I fully believe that Bryce would have won anyway, but not this hard. Not this one-sidedly. Oh well. So, Brad, how was your round 2? Hopefully better than mine.
Barely. I played Chance, and Chance and I, it seems like we are trading games. I'll get him, and then he'll get me. And I got him at the last qualifier, so he got me this time. He's, of course, been playing King T'Challa. Not his leadership, but M'Baku's leadership. He plays the exact same listing to me every time. It's King T'Challa, M'Baku, Luke Cage, Okoye. What is her name? No. Gambit. Mighty Thor. He always plays Mighty Thor into me. I don't remember what
For the record, Gambit's not an insane thing to have said.
I think I played Gambit, and what were the scenarios? Inhumans deploy advanced weaponry and intrusions. I think I played like a Blob, a Colossus. I don't know. I don't know what I played. This game went real bad. It was looking bad for me at the start of the game, like early on. And then I made some plays that if they had panned out, I could have turned the game around. Like, someone attacked King T'Challa. I think it was Psylocke. And, like, if I had Daze King T'Challa, like, the first activation of that round, like I tried, and he didn't get to go, like, I could have done a lot of work that round. And I ended up doing like 1 damage or something like that. It was so far from reaching the goal that it didn't feel good. Like, if I'd done like part way there or whatever, I would have felt like I did something. It did nothing. And there were a couple times I tried to do something like that. It's like I could turn this around if this happens, and it just didn't happen. So I ended up losing 16-9 here. He was in pretty control of the game the whole time. So
Okay.
I
That's
I
been my experience with Chance as well.
this
Chance
this
been a hell of a player.
this is the second time I've lost on intrusions at a tournament with Apocalypse ever.
Oh
I'm
man.
just now realizing that.
Oh man.
Yeah, only the second time.
Yeah. Oh well. Steven, how did your round 2 go?
My round 2 went pretty good. I ended up playing Isaac, which I believe was Red's first round opponent. Like he mentioned that Isaac mentioned that he had only been playing for a month. He was playing as Asgard, and we drew Montesi formula and intrusions. I had priority, so he picked 19. And usually on 19, I go with Goblin and 5/3s. And that formula seems to work out pretty well. And that's what I did again. So in doing, he took Thor 2, Loki 2, Angela, and Heimdall under Loki 2's leadership. I ended up with Goblin, Lizard, Lizard, Mysterio, Craven, Magic, and Little Doc Ock. So it was 6 against his 4, and I got out to a lead pretty early. Thor 2 failed to kill Lizard. It was frustrating Isaac a lot, but those are dice.
That's Lizard.
And I was controlling his people with Mysterio, getting them off points. Magic also helped us out a little bit. So with her journey through limbo, Doc Ock was throwing people because they were only size 2, except for Thor, which Lizard, like I said, was taking care of. And then Craven just came in and kind of cleaned things up. So in the end, we, even though it was low scoring points, only 6 points on the board, I ended up winning 20-3.
Oh gosh. Okay.
But like I said, Isaac was a great player. He was a great sport about it, and he really didn't like Goblin when I told him to re-roll, defense rolls, and he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, really. I'm sorry." So,
Yep. That's Goblin for you.
mm-hmm. So,
well, speaking about, congratulations on your win, Steven.
we're all 1-1 at this point.
We are. That's true. Speaking of Goblin, my third round opponent was a Green Goblin player named Steven. It was you. It was Steven. Everyone out there. So we were playing 17 Threat at Unexpected Guests. That's the wedding party. Oh, no, Unexpected Guests and Wedding Party. Those are the two. I didn't realize it. Those are the two wedding-related crises. Interesting. Well, at 17 Threat, I started this game off with a mistake. I played 4 Threat Black Panther as my leader. And so I played Black Panther. I believe I played Shang-Chi, Shuri, Okoye, and Killmonger. I believe that was my 17. Steven, do you remember what your 17 was?
Goblin, Mysterio, Lizard, Venom, Doc Ock.
Venom. That's right. Venom was in there. This guy. Okay. So round one, I score both sides of the wedding party, and I score two of the um extract objectives. Like we just spend round one deploying, and I uh I get ahead, and I think part of that is Shuri um caught the sinister traps, and she took 4 damage, and Steven then attacked her twice with Venom and Mysterio and failed to roll any damage. Like I think you just blanked out. Uh yeah. So that saved me there, and the round one goes 6-2 in my favor.
I was just
Around
drawing you in a false sense of security. That's all.
Yeah, you kind of were. Round two, uh, I start round two off by usurping the throne against Green Goblin and succeeding in doing so. So I'm flying real high at this point. So I'm at 8 threat to his 2, or 8 victory points to his 2. What could possibly go wrong at this point? Well, Steven, do you want to discuss this game?
No, that's fine. I'll do the spicy commentary as you elaborate, sir.
Okay. Well, I get ahead of myself. I think I lose sight of the the objectives at this point. Venom successfully pulls was it Black Panther? One of whoever the 4 threat was on that side
It was Black
off the
Panther, yes.
objective. It was Black Panther, yeah. Pulls him off the objective, and uh it successfully dazes Shuri, which was bad for me, and steals one of the objectives, one of the extracts on that side. My person holding the extract on the other side also gets dazed. I think it was Killmonger who was holding it, and he gets dazed. So uh, and he gets pulled off the objective. No, I don't think I have anyone just even on the objective on that side because it's wedding party and they move around.
Correct.
And Steven ends up scoring every point on the field in round two. So it goes from 8-2 to 10-8 in Steven's favor. I score 0 more points at that point. Then round 3, I think to myself, I need to kill Green Goblin, or else Green Goblin's going to be a problem for me the rest of this game. So I have Killmonger activate, and Killmonger goes in on Green Goblin, attacks once, twice, and then Wakanda Forevers, and fails to KO Green Goblin. That was absolutely devastating, because then Green Goblin dazes both Okoye and Shang-Chi in his activation. Just like ignores Killmonger, because Killmonger's out of position without any objectives, and dazes my entire rest of the team on that side. Venom and Mysterio proceed to daze Black Panther, and I think KO Shuri, and my entire team completely falls apart. I think I score 1 victory point this round, and Steven gets to 19 and wins this game. 17 and wins this game.
Yeah.
And holy crap, like it is. I felt like I was pulling this one out no problem at the very beginning of round 2, and then everything fell apart for me. I guess that's Spider Foes for you. Spider Foes can really swing a game when
They sneaky.
yeah, with all the control stuff that you have, like Venom's ability to pull people off points, and Mysterio being able to move people around, and it was awful. Yeah, a big congratulations to Steven. He played them very well, and I lose round 3 to Steven.
Well, Fred, I will say one thing. I think the best thing
that I accomplished was that I knew Shuri was going to be a problem and Panther was as your displacement people. So I put my displacement people on that side and I backstopped them against that dumpster. That was
Yep.
probably one of the key plays.
Yep. You definitely played them extremely well. Yeah, that was exactly what you needed to do. Also, like I can't even blame my dice. My dice were fine. It's just like in the one attack against Green Goblin, I needed my dice not to fail me, and they did. I think that almost every single time that you made me re-roll my defense dice, I rolled into it block. I think that I may have had an advantage in dice. It's just you played better. So, oh well, that's this game. Well, Brad, why don't you talk about your round 3?
Round 3, I played Volley. I'm not entirely sure now how to pronounce it. Who's a friend of Isaac, and we played 17 Threat Struggle for the Cube at Mayor Fisk. They're playing Midnight Suns. So they had Blade, of course, Voodoo, Elsa, oh man, now I'm having a hard time remembering because Michael played all those monsters the other day. I know those people were in the list. Oh, it was Dracula. That might be it. That seems like that's it. I know I played Psylocke Apocalypse. Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember who else. Anyway, I thought with Apocalypse and it being Mayor Fisk that I would pretty easily chew through his people. And unfortunately, I made the decision early to rock Elsa's world with Apocalypse so that she couldn't keep me from healing. That's not the leadership he played. He played Blade's leadership. But she still has that spender that can keep you from healing. And that's like what keeps Apocalypse alive. So she never made an attack this game. But what that meant is that everyone else on his team kind of got to do what they wanted until she was dead. There was I think they were ahead most of the game, but at the very end, like I could have turned it around by dazing Voodoo, and I left Voodoo at 1. The problem with that is I had used the war ability on the first attack with whatever model it was. I can't remember now. It might have been magic. And forgot to convert any dice. Oh no, it was with Apocalypse. Because then when they're left at 1, if I hadn't done war, that's how many successes I would have got because I didn't convert any. And I could have then done the superpower to just auto deal 1 damage to Voodoo.
The Pestilence?
Yeah, the Pestilence ability. So, like, had I not even used war at all, I could have taken down Dr. Voodoo. Or if I had remembered to switch dice, I would have got Voodoo. So like and that's just indicative of this whole day. I feel like every game I was making those little mistakes, like forgetting to put conditions on when I roll wilds on Apocalypse, and stuff like that. Just forgetting to do the little things, and it went bad. So that would have meant Voodoo didn't activate. Voodoo took, I think there were 2 cubes on Apocalypse at that point, and then they got picked up, and so I lost 15-18, and if Voodoo had gone down, I may have won that game. I think, yeah, because I would have won, unless Dracula could kill a no damage flipped Apocalypse in one activation, which feels unlikely. I would have won that game 17-16.
Okay.
So
Man.
So
That's
that
a heartbreaker.
one little mistake cost me the game.
Yep.
So that's it. Oh, and this game, like, dice were very much not in my favor. So I could have made mistakes if my dice were better. But, that's why you don't make mistakes, right? So that you can win even when the dice are bad. So, yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Sorry to hear that, Brad.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Going into round 4, my opponent was a gentleman named Jeff. He was also playing Kingpin Criminal Syndicate. It was 17 threat. And in this game, we were playing on scientific samples and infinity formula. And I think to myself, I'm going to go 4 wide and really focus on trying to kill his models before they can score all of the points on the table. So I played Shang-Chi, King T, M'Baku, and Killmonger at 17. This list sounds kind of bad, like on first blush, but it is a murder machine. I was killing models or pushing them off of points with King T and with Shang-Chi. And man, oh man, I feel like I've got game into Kingpin in a way that I didn't in previous games, in previous affiliations that I played. Because I have enough pushes, I have enough damage output to be able to take out anyone that Kingpin is going to bring with him. I feel like I've got some serious anti-Kingpin tech in Wakanda, especially now that I'm using King T'Challa, who is someone that I should have been using since the beginning, because he is quite good. He is quite effective on the table. So this game, I don't remember everyone that he had. He had obviously Kingpin, Black Hat, and I believe he had Rhino, and I'm blanking on the rest of his list, but I was able to outlast and prevent him from scoring every point on the field, and I win this game 17-14. So I'm feeling really good about that. I believe at the end of this game he had nobody who was healthy. Oh no, that's not true. He had Deadpool, and Deadpool was still healthy because he's Deadpool. But I had flipped everyone on his onto their flipped side. So his leadership was almost completely pointless. Okay, so I win my 4th round. Jeff was a very good opponent. It was just circumstances being what they were. He was not able to keep up with my damage output. Brad, how was your round 4?
Round 4, I played Cody. Steven and Cody used to play all the time before Steven moved. Cody always comes up with some crazy stuff to play. In our game, he told me after this game that he brought part of his roster was just to play into me. The problem was he had to draw 18 points to play it. And both of the scenarios, Legacy, Virus, and Intrusions, were 19 points. So he did not play it. Instead, he played what he'd been playing. He played Dormammu, Hulk, and Ultron. That was it. That was his whole list.
I want to hop in here and say that Cody's roster was hilariously tall. It was hilariously tall, and that's the whole point of it. And I kind of loved it. It was a ton of fun to read.
He did not have a single model under 5 points. I'm pretty sure.
I think he had Baron Mordo in there just for certain situations. But you're right.
That was for the convocation list he was going to play against me.
Yeah.
And then didn't get to play it. I played Apocalypse. I know I played a Wolverine. I played Gambit for sure because it was Gambit versus Ultron. Guess who won that fight? And some other people. I don't remember. I had a Blob or maybe a Colossus, something. But I put Apocalypse in the middle of the table. I usually do. And he put Dormammu in the middle of the table, and then he threw Dormammu to the middle point with Hulk, and then moved Hulk up, which was bold. I measured to my models that were in my deployment zone, and the only one he could reach was Apocalypse. So I just go ahead and go with Apocalypse, and I move to the middle, like right next to where Dormammu and Hulk are on the point. And I'm thinking about, like, you know, making that's a move and a teleport, famine teleport. Making my one attack and then teleporting away. And then I think, no, I'm going to keep on the famine teleport, I also stole one power off of Hulk so he couldn't sacrifice. That was very important to my plan. I kept Apocalypse there as bait. My plan was that he was going to spend enough time attacking Apocalypse that the rest of my people can score points. And that plan mostly worked. He had a hard time taking down Apocalypse, much harder than he probably should have. I'm sure that came down to some dice. And he did eventually daze him. And then when I flipped Apocalypse, there's no way I had priority. But, I didn't. He went with Hulk first. And that turn. And I was able to daze Dormammu and finish dazing Hulk, who had taken a lot of attacks from, it was Colossus and Wolverine and some from Apocalypse and stuff throughout the previous turns. They only had like 2 health. So I took out Dormammu and Hulk. And it was before Dormammu got to go that turn. So
nice.
That put me in a really good spot, even though Ultron was kind of a terror on the other side. And then the next turn, Cody had priority. And he purposely moves off the point and attacks my group of other models to my right that has like Wolverine and Colossus, and I think Blob was my other model. He attacks into them instead of attacking Apocalypse like he should have. And like I was already pretty high up on points at this point. I think it was like I believe it was 12-6 at this. So I had a lot of extra points. But then he extra throws the game so that he can go over there, make his spender, and try to kill all of my models. There's so much that can go wrong with this plan, because if he kills the initial target, he can't make additional attacks, and he still has to get the trigger. So he rolls his dice. He doesn't get the trigger, and it's enough to kill Wolverine. So he recalibrates it, rolls the dice,
Trying to not kill him.
tried to not kill him and get the trigger. Rerolls the dice, does not get the trigger, and one-shots Wolverine. So I activate Apocalypse. I teleport over to where Ultron is, daze Ultron, score all 6 points that are on the field. I know why I can't remember one of my models. It's I have a Toad too, but Toad literally got a legacy virus and hid behind a truck the entire game. We kept forgetting he was even on the field. But I end up scoring all 6 points, and that takes me to 18. So
All right.
I'm
well,
winning this game 18.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Well done, Brad. Congratulations on your second win. Steven, how was your round 4?
My round 4, I went against Mr. Johnny Belasto. He was playing Shadowlands Daredevil Criminal Syndicate. We ended up on Spider Infected and Wedding Party. 17 threat. He took Shadowlands Daredevil, Mephisto, Loki 2, and the Winter Soldier. Not Winter Soldier Operative, but Bucky 1. I countered with Goblin, Mysterio, Lizard, Venom, and Doc Ock. And this, I knew it was going to be a bloody battle because he stated he just wanted to kill people. And I'm like, okay, I understand what's going on. So I got out to a very, 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 very commanding points lead. It was 15 to 6, I believe. And my Goblin was gone, Venom was gone, Doc Ock was gone. So I only had Lizard, who was injured, and Mysterio, who was injured, left. Mysterio was holding a one of the extracts, and I just needed Mysterio to hold on. So Lizard dove into the board where his Shadowlands was, his Mephisto and Bucky were, and Mysterio was kind of left on his own with Loki too in the area. So needless to say, I snuck Mysterio behind a big piece of train, and he had a couple of attempts at getting Mysterio because he knew the game was in peril at that point in time. But Mysterio had enough power to do a lot of tricks and traps and just keep getting away from people. And the game ended up 16 to 13. And needless to say, I was holding on to my pants because I was about to lose everybody. So Mysterio wins me the game by running away. The only way Mysterio can. Come into my little bubble, roll some dice, start moving again. So,
I mean, sometimes that's all you got to do. You got to run for the corner.
No, but Johnny played his game really, really well. His Mephisto went into my Venom and my Doc Ock and just kind of picked them up off the table. Like I said, and then Goblin suffered the wrath of Loki, and it was all around bad. So, but needless to say, I squeaked it out. So
you pulled it out. Hey, that's
Mhm.
what's important. All right. Well, so at this point, I'm 2-2, Brad's 2-2, and Steven is 3-1. Uh, so going into this turned out to be a 5-round tournament because none of the pair downs won or lost their game. So uh, we go into round 5, and I get paired against Chance. So Chance is a better player than me. He has a lot more experience with Wakanda, and he's playing Wakanda. And so in my head, I do not stand a chance trying to out Wakanda Chance. It's just not going to happen. And this is round 5. I'm tired, and uh, I have no thoughts that I'm going to win. So I play Asgard. I decide to go with my Asgard flex into Chance's M'Baku Wakanda. We were playing on Legacy Virus and on Wedding Party at 20 threat. So at 20 threat, I bring Thor 1, I bring Mighty Thor, Lady Sif, and then 2 more models, which would have been Shang-Chi and Okoye. That's what it must have been. He was playing King T'Challa, Killmonger. I don't think he M'Baku, obviously, and that puts he has 7 more threat. I believe that those 7 threats. I don't even know. I don't remember what they were. One of them was Shang-Chi. We both had Shang-Chi on the table, and then he had another 3 threat who I'm forgetting. Who I don't think was Shuri. I'm pretty sure was not Shuri. Okay, so this game, it was not a foregone conclusion. On round 2, I have my Thor able to do his spender into 3 models, which felt really good. I did a ton of damage to King T'Challa. I believe that I dazed Killmonger. I did. He did the Lord's work right there. Lady Sif charges in, does very little. In this game, Lady Sif doesn't do a whole lot, but that happens sometimes. Sometimes her job is just to run around and be a threat, and otherwise not get a whole lot accomplished. In the 3rd round, I'm gonna. He's ahead, and he's gonna score more points than me in this round. And so I have the card, the If She Be Worthy, I believe it's called. It's the card where you can deactivate Mighty Thor and then have her take another action at the end of the activation phase. So I use that, and I daze, I think, 2 of his models, and am able to pull out the Wedding Party score that I needed at that point. But of course, it costs me Mighty Thor. And at that point, he is far enough ahead on attrition that the next round, I don't score anything because he's just able to bully the 2 secures out of my possession. And I think that's not. I score at least 1 extract, one of the legacy viruses, but that is all. I felt like Asgard was too fragile to play into this matchup. Uh, he did a good job. He KO'd Thor very quickly. Thor was clearly his primary target, and without Thor's leadership, my side kind of started falling apart pretty quickly. The Thor leadership is really key to not falling behind in attrition with Asgard, and not having it really hurt. Chance is a heck of a player. This was pretty much a foregone conclusion, but I feel like I put up as good a fight as I could have. This game ended 19-11. So I did kind of get blown out, but it didn't feel. I think part of that is I kept him from winning the round before, and so he scored a lot more points in the round 4 than he would have had he won in round 3. It probably was a mistake to push the game that much further. But hey, I had to do something. I wanted to use that card. Okay. Well, that was my round 5. I end up going 2-3 in this tournament, but I can safely say that I usurped the throne in every game that I brought Killmonger in 4 out of 5 games, and I learned a lot about using King T'Challa, which is something that I plan to do in the future. All right, Brad, why don't you talk about your 5th game?
My 5th game was against Jahi. We've seen him at tons of tournaments now because they've been him and Chance and them have been like coming down to our tournaments, and then we see him in Pittsburgh and all sorts of stuff. So he's playing Brotherhood, and he has Magneto. He also plays a Juggernaut, a Blob, a Avalanche. That might be it. I'm playing also Blob, Apocalypse, of course. I think I play Toad this game. I don't know, some other people. I don't know why I can't remember my list. Imcron Crystal and Montesi Formula. 19 threat. Imcron really screwed me this game. I one-shot Magneto turn 1 with Apocalypse. He keeps...
Oh my god.
He activated Magneto first, second turn, and I played Beast, and I forgot I played Beast because Beast is dead first activation turn 2 from Magneto. He dazed Beast first turn and killed him second turn. But Magneto's already gone, so I believe I dazed Juggernaut before he gets to go second turn. And Apocalypse never makes a flip this entire game. He tries 3 or 4 times, fails every time.
You mean never flips an objective?
Yeah.
Tries
3 or 4 times, never flips one. And then out of the rest of my team, I think I get 1 flip this entire game, where I actually have to roll dice and flip. The only time I'm changing them to my side is when they are empty. And he, I think, maybe failed one the entire game. If they were even, if they were a true 50-50, I win this game. We talked about it afterwards. I was pretty up on the attrition side of things, and was keeping him from activating models and all sorts of great stuff, and then just failing every flip. He did take advantage of that pretty heavily, in a smart way, because he was eventually it seemed like he stopped making attacks and was just going around and flipping stuff. And his very last activation with Avalanche, he was looking at the state, and he saw Colossus only had 1 power, and he already had 3 out of 4. And if he keeps 3 of those Imcron crystals, he wins the game. So he goes and rolls to flip the 4th one, and of course gets it. And now I can't keep him from winning. Well, I can. I'll get to that in a second. So Colossus flips his thing that he's on. There's nobody there, so it's just a free flip. And then I move, and if on 5 dice I can roll 7 successes against Blob to daze him, 7 net successes after his defense, so that even if he reduces it, it dazes Blob. He drops an extract, and the game goes another turn. We know this isn't going to happen, but I try anyway. And of course it doesn't happen. But I'm like, that's my only out.
Right, that's the only way that you keep the game going.
Yeah. So he ends up winning 16-12, and because the scenario screwed me so hard.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's one of those things. And I mean, there was little things in this game too that after the fact I'm like, oh man, I forgot that. So that was all day. I don't know where I was mentally on Saturday, but it was apparently not playing MCP.
Yeah.
So I also go 2-3. And because none of us are in the finals, I just want to congratulate Tom Minter, who won the whole thing. He was playing Inhumans. Super nice guy. And also in the finals was Gilbert from the Cleveland area, friends with Cody and Steven and whatnot. So they did great. And Bryce got third.
That's true. Well done, Bryce.
But who got fourth? I wonder.
Well, Steven, why don't we talk about your fifth round?
All right. So I played Mr. Kurt Osier. He's up from the Columbus. And he was playing Hellfire Club, which was kind of surprising. We got Scrolls and Intrusions, and we played at 19 points. So he has Emma, Storm, Mystique for his Hellfire members, and then he takes Juggernaut and Bill. And I'm like, yikes, here we go. So my reveal, and since I saw his roster and I saw Juggernaut, I definitely hyped up my list a little bit with some, and for Shang-Chi too, hyped up my list with some range 4 energy attacks. So in this one, I take Doctor Strange and Goblin, and in Magic, Doc Ock, and Venom. So things kind of fall apart for Kurt because he sends Bill to the middle, and I then move up my Venom and I attack him, and he basically blanked out, and Venom does 3 damage to him. With that, I then pull him towards my team, and then I proceed to daze him with Doctor Strange, and thus dropping objective. So in the next round, I go into Bill, and I take him off the board. So he's already down 1 model, and Goblin was doing work into Storm. It was just, and I think the really opportune thing that I did was that I played Sinister Traps on one of the far-flung Skrulls and Intrusions. So I basically shut down 2 of the points that were on the board because he only had Mystique over there, and it was one of those situations which, you know, Fred, you can do 5 damage and just take somebody off the board if they're a smaller type character.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically cut that side of the board off. I put Magic over there to face off in case she did do anything, but then Magic came to the middle again, pretty easily. So Doc Ock was doing work. Doctor Strange got on top of a building so he could get cover, and of course converting into shields for when he got attacked. Doctor Strange in the later rounds went after Mystique and moved her over to the Sinister Trap to explode it, and thus taking Mystique off the board. Storm was down by this time. Goblin had got into her, and then Venom finished her off. And basically, I was just dealing with Emma Frost and Juggernaut after that, and I still have my whole team available, with only Doc Ock and Doc Strange being dazed. So, needless to say, Kurt was a good sport about it. I did use my timer to help me play faster. So, but in the end, it was just a bunch of misfortunes, and that Goblin reroll just comes in handy so often. So, ended up 18-9, finishing up.
And that puts
So,
you 4-1, win loss wise, and
correct.
that puts you in 4th place. Did you get 4th place?
Yes, I did.
Congratulations, Stephen. Well done.
And other Brandon got 5th.
Yes, yeah. Other Brandon got 5th. I always enjoy Akron Brew Brawl. This is becoming a tradition. I very much like going to this event. I didn't do great this time, but there's always next spring.
And
Win
it's
the
good
next one.
food, good company. I mean, great prizes too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
great.
I got best painted.
Yes, you did.
Brad got best painted. All right. Well, that is our tournament. Do either of you have any other closing remarks? Anything that you
No.
were thinking that okay. One thing that's fun that happened that I've never had happen before. I did make an attack with Killmonger that I used his special forces rule where he counts shields instead of hits as successes in attacks because that came up once. That's never happened before. But it came up at one point in this tournament. So the most obscure power got used. All right, well, let's just roll right into the person that we are here to cover today. That person being Nebula. Nebula, otherwise known as Nebula. Her defenses are 3, 3, and 2. She has 4 health on her front side and 5 health on her back side. She has a threat value of 2. That's wild when you find out how good she is on the table. She is a size 2 model, a long mover on a small base, and she is affiliated with Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's it. Just Guardians of the Galaxy. Brad, why don't you go over her attacks?
Her first attack is a physical strike, range 2, 4 dice, cost 0. After this attack is resolved, gain power equal to damage dealt. Wild shock after the attack is resolved. Her second attack is energy, blaster pistol, range 3, 4 dice, cost 0. After the attack is resolved, this character gains 1 power. And then energy, shock, sword, assault. Range 3, 6 dice, cost 3. After this attack is resolved, place this character within range 1 of the target character and wild stun after the attack is resolved.
All right, Steven, why don't you finish out the card?
Sure, we have 3 and 8 abilities. Our first one is Assassin. This character cannot contest, interact with, or hold objective tokens. Additionally, this character may reroll any number of its attack dice when attacking a character that is holding or contesting an objective token. Next, we have Cybernetic Enhancements. This character may reroll 1 die in its defense roll. Additionally, at the start of this character's activation, it may remove 1 damage from itself. And last, we have immunities to bleed, poison, and stun.
All right, that is Nebula. It is a simple card for a very effective model. All right, first things first, she's a 2 threat, and she cannot interact with objectives at all. But she hits like an absolute truck. She gets rerolls, like reroll any, on all of her attacks against people who are contesting or holding an objective. That should be anyone. Like, if your opponent is playing the game, they should be trying for the objectives. And that means that she is going to be exceptionally effective against their models. she, having played against her many times, she can hit well above her weight class. Like, oftentimes she's removing models that are 4 threat, sometimes even 5 threat from the table, just by the sheer weight of her attacks. She can charge. I mean, it's not a charge. She can shock sword assault, which is a range 3 that places her within range 1 of her target. A great spender. And it on top of that, it can also stun them. She has easy access to shock on her builder, and man, there's so many things about this character that are good. Brad, what are your thoughts here on Nebula?
Nebula is great. Like, this is one of those times where, and it's really hard to get this right, where the upside is big enough to make up for that downside. So, like, Honey Badger also can't interact with the scenario at all, but she is not good enough to overcome that. Nebula absolutely is. Now, that is primarily because of Assassin, but both of the abilities in Cybernetic Enhancement don't hurt that either. They make her just a little more defensive. But that Assassin ability, you can't contest, you can't pick up extracts, but with Nebula, you are preventing your opponent from doing those things as well with a 2-point model that, playing against her, I can say it feels bad to attack her and it feels bad when you don't. Because if you don't do anything about her, she tears you up, and if you attack the model that can't score instead of the ones that can, it feels real bad. She is so good. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, all very true. Steven, what do you have to say here about Nebula?
Proceed with caution. She is just exactly what Brad said. It creates that puzzle for you. So, and there's really no good answer for her. So I guess Hex and Stunner is basically what you need to do.
You can't stun her. She's immune. She's immune to stun.
Hexer and Shocker. Excuse me.
There you go.
So get out your Hawkeye and Defenders and just shoot her. And hopefully you do damage and get a wild so you can do a shock and a hex. And,
yeah.
And maybe put a slow on her too. So
you're getting to the point where the weight of attacks that it's required to put all these conditions is probably going to kill her.
Well, I mean,
you're throwing a lot of attention to this model, this 2-threat model that can't score anything.
Yeah, but you don't want to have a 5-threat model pay attention to her. You got to do it with a little bit of savvy and but I think slow is really, really good, and shock are really, really good, and a hex doesn't hurt either.
So. Yeah, I agree with you. Like if you can get shock on her, that really defangs her quite a bit.
Right.
But she's still a terror. She's still really rough to play against. I've got a question for you two. So she doesn't quite have healing factor. Like, she has healing factor, but not healing factor. What is the difference? Is the only difference that she can't use instant recovery? Is that the only thing that's like?
Well, the timing is also different.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the turn instead of the end of the turn. But like, is that
I'm pretty sure.
Improvement?
I'm pretty sure if this model came out after Wolverine, she would have healing factor.
Okay.
It's just she was made first.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like healing at the beginning of your turn might help you survive some of the clapback effects, like
Yeah.
Mysterio, or but also it means that but she can't bleed. She's immune to bleed, so that's irrelevant.
I don't think it makes
Yeah.
any difference for bleed anyway.
Oh, because bleed happens after healing factor.
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind.
I think it
All right,
is.
well,
I think it is slightly better, except that it is not called healing factor, and you can't use the card that specifically does healing factor.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't have instant recovery. All right. Well, that's Nebula. Oh, she has a tactics card. We talked about it last week. Or was it 2
did.
weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Daughters of Thanos.
It was last week.
Yeah, last week. Daughters of Thanos, her team up card with Gamora. It's fine. It's fine. It's a good card from Nebula's perspective, but like Nebula is a better model than Gamora. I'm gonna just say that. You're more likely to have Nebula in your roster than Gamora because she's a 2 threat. All right. We need to give Nebula a letter grade. Nebula is excellent. She hits like a truck. She's a threat for your opponent. She plays a mind game that your opponent doesn't like. She's an A model. She's a hard A model. That is where I'm. Just a straight A. Brad, what would you like to give to Nebula?
We don't really talk about splashability very much anymore because the game's just so big and affiliations are so big. This is a model that still gets splashed. Like, low cost, so she kind of fills out points a lot of times and just does her job so well. She's at least an A. I'm leaning A plus though. Like,
I know.
She is so good. She is so good.
Steven, what would you like to give to Nebula?
I guess I'm going to be the curmudgeon. I'm going to give her a B.
Okay.
Boo,
this game is built on scoring, and she can't do that.
Yeah. True.
That's where I'm at.
Guardians of the Galaxy are a faction that has, I think they are the only faction that has two threat models in affiliation. And
Cabal does.
Oh, Cabal does. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Never mind. All right. Well, that is our take on Nebula. She's really good. At least in my opinion, I think she's great. Brad, do you have any comic book recommendations?
Sure do. I have 3 today. And they kind of, one leads kind of right into the other. So we have Avengers 257 through 260. This is by Roger Stern and John Buscema. This is Nebula's first appearance. She takes over Thanos' ship and is planning to use it against the Skrulls, and the Avengers are trying to stop her. So she's a space pirate at the beginning.
Okay.
She also does something else during that little story, which I will talk about in the next recommendation. Infinity Gauntlet. This is Jim Starlin and George Perez. And in that previous story, that Avengers story, Nebula claims to be Thanos' granddaughter.
Okay, hold on.
What?
Okay, keep going.
That pisses Thanos off. What's your question, Fred?
How is she his granddaughter? Like,
well, she's not.
Okay.
Which is why he's mad about it. So he's got the Infinity Gauntlet with all the stones at this point. So he just kind of pulls her into his little throne room thing. and keeps her there as like a servant, and she's like almost dead at one point, and Thanos is in a cosmic awareness type state, and she saves the day, doing like the only heroic thing she has ever done. And you know, not to give away the end of the story, but she totally undoes everything Thanos does and saves the day.
Yay.
Brings back to life half the universe. All that good stuff.
Okay.
Very uncharacteristic of her in general.
I take it this is very different than the MCU.
Yeah, of course it is. First of all, Thanos wants to kill half of the universe so he can date the embodiment of death.
That's right. It doesn't have high-minded thoughts. It's just because he thinks death is hot.
Yeah.
He want that death.
Which, when they made the movies, they thought no one would buy that. But then do you know who they cast as the embodiment of death in the MCU?
Who?
Aubrey Plaza.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, in what was she the embodiment of death?
Agatha all along. You should watch that show, Fred. It is great.
Okay, I do. I know.
That is a spoiler for the people at home if you haven't seen that. But if you haven't seen it by now and didn't know that, maybe that'll get you to watch a great show. It's really great because they are Agatha and her are exes in the show. Like, that's not me reading into it. They say that.
Okay.
They say that in the show. Okay. And then the last one I got is Silver Surfer, and there's kind of like 2-ish stories here. But it's 69 through 78. This is Ron Mars, MC Wyman, and Ron Lim. Nebula's mind is broken after the whole Infinity Gauntlet thing, and she is imprisoned by Thanos' brother Starfox, who's played by Harry Styles in the MCU, since we're talking about the MCU. This is not...
Do a barrel roll.
This is not that Star Fox. I knew that's exactly where you were going to go, Fred. When I was writing this, I almost put Thanos' brother Star Fox, who doesn't do a barrel roll, because I knew that's exactly where you're going. But her old pirate crew breaks her out, and she's made into a cyborg in this story, which is why I wanted to include it. So before she was completely... not human, but humanoid, alien. She didn't have robot parts. This is the story where she gets her robot parts. And then she starts doing crimes again. Because she loves doing crimes. Just absolutely loves doing crimes and telling people that she is Thanos' granddaughter. Those are the two things she loves the most.
Good for her. All right. Well, thank you, Brad. We're already going very long this episode, so I'm going to make this as quick as possible. Nebula is played by Karen Gillan in the MCU. Karen Gillan plays my favorite companion for Doctor Who. Watch the 11th Doctor seasons of Doctor Who, specifically the first one. I actually think that they get much worse as they go along, but the first season with Amelia Pond / Karen Gillan is amazing. So watch that season. And that is it for our show today. Thank you all for joining me, and thank you for listening to me talk about my tournaments and stuff, and about this game that we all love. I hope that everyone out there has a wonderful rest of the week and plays some fantastic games of MCP. Good. Oh,
Fred, one more thing.
Go ahead.
The good people at Akron Brawl have started their own podcast that I am blanking on the name of right now that I wanted to shout out.
Oh, crap. The Brawl.
Is it
podcast.
called Beyond the Brawl?
Beyond the Brawl. Beyond the Brawl. There we go. I knew it had like a name that made sense. This has been an awesome little local convention, and I wanted to support them and shout that out. Give it a listen. I'm sure it's going to be great.
I am going to subscribe.
Of course you are, Fred.
Goodbye, everybody.